What's going on, everybody? George here, along with my brother from another mother, Casey. This is Going Bracket Racing YouTube channel. Hey, glad you guys could join us. Happy Tuesday. Hope you all had a wonderful holiday. Pretty sure there was a lot of racing going on, except for in my family. I was a little busy smoking brisket and all that other good stuff and kind of hanging out with the boys and the wife there. So it was a pretty good holiday weekend for me, and I hope you all had a good weekend as well. Casey, what's going on over there, man?
Not a lot, man. You see my extremely loud shirt that I have right here? You can spot me from a mile away shirt. But
Right?
no, man, just got these bad boys in the mail. Got a green one too. I got one for John out there. Door trucks rule.
You know
So
it.
I'll be giving that to him here pretty soon. He's getting his. Pretty sure his truck should be done pretty soon. I think he used the steel cab off of like a 50-something Ford and put a 557 in it, and it's going to be a pretty sweet deal. He's going to set the world on fire with it, I'm sure. So
Hey,
we're going to see how that runs pretty soon.
You know it, and one day we'll have a stream about that, man, because I promise every time I scroll through Facebook, another door truck has won a race. So kudos to all us door
That's
truck
right,
drivers
man.
out there, man. Door trucks are taking over the world right now.
That I can't remember what his name is off the top of my head, but that blue S10, man, he's been running through them lately, has he not?
Has he not? He's been tearing them up, and I mean, even at the World Foot Brake Challenge, I mean, there was a lot of door trucks out there taking care of business. Might have saw a Tesla out there though.
Yeah. Yep.
I want to dedicate a whole stream to why electronic cars should not be allowed in bracket racing, and it can be today if you want to. This is open discussion, maybe you guys.
Especially at Bristol.
Oh my gosh!
Especially at Bristol.
Hey, time out. I watched one Tesla. Just watching the scoreboard now. I don't even know who was driving the Joker, but ran within a couple of thou, 3, 4, 5, 6 thou every pass. That's saying something now. This is a street car we're talking about. Generally speaking, you have to work to make a street car consistent. I'm sorry, I don't think you had to do much. It was running like 8 flat or 790 something. So I don't think you had to do much work in order to make that thing consistent. But
well, the problem with Bristol is they give you all those weird swings because of the weather.
Air.
You know, you get just that weird air, and everybody will run way off all of a sudden out of nowhere. But everybody will with an internal combustion engine. Guess what doesn't have one of those?
That's a fact. It's a fact. So we can talk about that today. I'm pretty sure that there's guys. An open discussion, by the way. Everything you say in the chat, we're going to interact with. We do this maybe twice a month, I think, just to get an understanding of how you guys feel out there in the earth and on the world of drag racing. So I mean, we've got a few different ideas that we're going to talk about today. I'll clear my throat right before I say this. Goat Enders won again. Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I don't care what nobody thinks.
I don't know.
Man, that's
I don't
the
know
goat.
about that, George.
Yeah, we're gonna get off into that. We'll get off into that, man. But hey, man, I think you got something going on in your stables that maybe Going Bracket Racing might want to know a little something about.
I do, man. So I ended up just a random thing put together. Buddy Kenny Smith hit me up. What was it? Friday night, I guess, maybe Saturday night, maybe. I get the days mixed up because we had a 3-day weekend, so now I don't really know what's going on anymore.
All right.
But long story short, Kenny got a hold of me. He had a tube chassis Firebird. Wanted my Malibu. We did a trade deal on that. So Kenny's got that now. I was just telling you, I'm working on that right now. It was originally built to be like a top sportsman, quick 8 type car back in the mid-90s, whenever they were kind of inventing Pro Mod out here. And then I think the car just kind of sat around for a while until Kenny got a hold of it, and he kind of updated a couple things on it and got it running. And long story short, I got it here now. So we'll see what happens with it. It'll be a learning experience. I'm going to rewire the whole car and kind of just do some things here and there to it and make it my own type deal. Right now, I'm trying to figure out how to rotate the seat just to get a little bit more headroom in the car. So yeah, man, it'll be something that'll be cool eventually.
Yeah, man, and what we'll do is we'll take some good video. How about the how-to? Maybe we'll get some how-to episodes for the wintertime bench racing,
Definitely. I'll have to, first of all, I need to figure out how to myself. but I'll get something going after I figure out what I want to do, for sure.
Hey, that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. But no, man, Lot to do today, man. A lot to do. One good man. I'll tell you what. I seen a flyer for a race. I'm gonna show it here in a little bit, guys. You guys out there in Cincinnati, man, or anywhere near Edgewater, wait, hang on to your seats for this race that I'm about to introduce you to. If you hadn't heard about it already, it may or may not be one of the greatest of all time behind that track in the first place. So stay tuned. But you know what, guys? It's just about that time for the Drag Champ Minute. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut into that. We'll be right back at you to be able to have this this good old open discussion day. Hang in there, guys.
Hey guys, Garrett on back again with the Drag Champ Minute. Every week we'll bring you about 60 seconds of what's hot in bracket racing today. So what's hot this week? David Harvey Jr. picking up his second Kohlberg Promotions main event win this year. He won 25K main event at the WFC in July. He comes back on Labor Day weekend, takes out Lucas Walker in the final of the Labor Day 250K. So the two biggest foot brake races of the year, and David Harvey Jr. has the trophy at the end of the day. We move over to the 40 Grand Nationals at Norwalk, Summit Motorsports Park, and Kyle Cotrera, who's mainly known a few years ago for his NHRA success, has really turned it on. Big money bracket racing side. Drives both of his dragsters to the final round of the 40K main event and gets the win and the runner-up. So huge win for Kyle Cotrera. Another big name coming off of a huge week last week at the Summer Fling. Jeff Serra stays hot. He ends up defeating Matt Dattis in the Sunday 20K final at the 40 Grand Nationals. So David Harvey Jr., Kyle Cotrera, and Jeff Serra are what's hot in bracket racing this week. For more bracket racing news and results, follow dragchamp.com. That's all, guys. We'll see you next week.
All right, guys. All right. As always, if you need a link to the Drag Champ, I don't know why you would. This Drag Champ is so well known. But if you don't know, they have a Facebook page. You can look inside of the stream here. I've got it linked for you guys. You just click and make sure you're following, showing some support over there at Drag Champ. They do a good job letting us know what's going on. Certainly appreciate the Drag Champ Minute, as we're gonna pretty much have that as long as possible. As long as Drag Champ over there is willing to keep sending it, we'll keep showing it. Put it that way. Pretty good information coming out of there too, as well as Jeff Serra continuing to solidify his spot in history right now. What do you think, Casey?
That's right, man. That guy's on fire. But the thing that it's kind of funny because Jeff Serra's been so dominant lately. Everybody's talking about Jeff Serra. That same race, I'm fairly certain Kyle Cotrera, and I'm sure you can see this on Drag Champ right now. Kyle Cotrera got the 40 and the 20, runner-up and the win.
Right.
In both of his own dragsters. So,
right.
So I mean, he's been on fire too. It's almost like he's been flying under the radar. He's always like a 6th rounder, 7th rounder, and he'll win a race, but it's not the big race, it seems like, wherever he's at. But the little races at those races are not small,
It's true, and I can't remember the old boy's name who won the World Foot Brake Challenge at 250.
Harvey.
Man, that dude is on fire. Hasn't he won every big door car race there's been this year?
He's been up there, man. The thing that I wanted to talk about as far as that Labor Day 250K was Lucas Walker, and Troy's saying it here too. Lucas Walker's 250-foot wheel stand, never letting off, and still only runs one above.
One number.
And I seriously thought there for a second, I'm like, when that comes down, Lucas is going to spray it and win this round too and have the world's coolest win.
Right, right. And he didn't do that just once. He's done that a few times, That car wheelied, man. It had to be 330 easy. Had to be close to 330 before he came down.
It was up there, man. Like, I just couldn't believe. I'm like, I don't think that's coming down. Lucas Walker's finally going to flip it over right here at 8 cars.
He's thinking in his head, don't worry, guys. I got this. Going bracket racing, don't worry. I got this. Casey, this wheelie is for you. Lucas Walker, that was a heck of a wheelie, man. We got to turn that into a meme. Hey, turn that into a meme, Casey. That'll be a good meme. Just steal that. That was good. Kevin Griner in there in the chat said that car is no joke. That is a fact, sir. I'm gonna run through some chat here real quick, and then real quick we'll get over to that Edgewater race, and I'll show you guys what's going on there. But Dylan Champion's in the house. Hey man, Thank you for being here. He says he's coming out of retirement next weekend. Champ, let us know how that new car runs, man. You know,
it ought to run good, man. I'm interested to see what it ends up doing also, because I think he ended up gaining like 150 horsepower because he took so much stuff out. So it's a totally different motor. Might be the same block, and that's about it.
Yeah, I see another comment in here, man. I heard and seen a picture of the Black Panther, and let's just say we'll see you next year. I think Kevinoid, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I see Jimmy Nobles in here. It says, "What up, everyone? Another day of being slaved by Kevinoid Little." Got some engine work to do over there, Mr. Nobles. And
yeah, he's got plenty to do now, judging by the looks of it, man. That was the first thing I saw this morning. I was like, man, that makes me want to throw up.
Cody Newman chimes in and talks about the electronic cars over at the race this weekend. I don't know if there was two or not, but the one I saw, he went red a couple times, or either that or he just snoozed on a tree. The reason why he was losing, because that thing didn't stray very far away from the number, and it was under. So any type of finish line driving, you're gonna be fine. But 9,000 was the max I saw that thing run between. David Hearn, you did hear the word brisket. I'm okay on a smoker. I won't pat my own self on the back, but I'm all right at making a little brisket. So, but yeah, no. So I see Wesley Washington in here as well. What's going on? And glad you guys are all chimed in here. Let's talk about this race, Casey, real quick over in Edgewater. And man, I don't know if he wants me to say his name or not, but Scotty Richardson is behind this track. So this is bound, and I'm gonna slide the flyer in right now, guys, but this is bound to be one heck of a race at one heck of a price. Man, the 24th, 25th, and 26th to double enter that joker for $449. Am I looking at that right? To run for 10, 20, and 10?
And that's the thing, George, is that's the double for the weekend, it looks like to me. I mean, that's unbelievable. $450 to run 3 days, double entry.
That's unheard of. Yeah. Not to mention the purse. The purse is up there, right? So
10,000, 20,000, 10,000. So you're running for 30 grand altogether. 3 days worth of racing, double entry, $450, and the buyback isn't astronomical either. It's only $75. That's a regular buyback cost.
I'm doing one better. That's 40 grand. 10,000, 20,000, 10,000.
Good point.
That's $40,000. You know what I'm saying?
I'm tired today, man. I'm tired.
That's just on the top. So I'm guaranteeing they're going to be over 50,000 in payout. There's nothing to talk about. You know.
You know what also is cool about this race, George, is that you see all that stuff and you see the good deals and everything. But did you look down here, the Triple Threat Challenge?
See that?
Where it says pick your team. So you pick 3 guys, and for Super Pro it's $500 for, I would assume, all 3 guys. Pro is $300, juniors is $100. Best 2 out of 3 wins. Super Pro wins $5 grand, Pro $3 grand, juniors is $1,000.
And he got a Wally at the race.
Yeah, and you get a wallet. I mean, that's just fun. You know what I mean? Like, that's just a cool deal. I calculated it's like $167 per guy to run for $5 grand.
That's crazy.
That's 2 out of 3. It's like, it's just fun, you know?
Oh, that's crazy. I'm really thinking that this place is going to be packed out. Edgewater is going to be packed to the brim. Number one, we got a lot of good racers in the bracket racing community out of Ohio in the first place. Number 2, 24th, 25th, and 26th. I really don't know another race going on around that, which is an excellent date, in my opinion. Most everybody will be coming back already if they're heading down to SFG for the no splits in Darlington. Mm-hmm. So this is a well thought out race, is what I'm going to say. If only I were in Illinois, is all I got to say, because I'd be driving to Cincinnati or Edgewater. I think it's near Cincinnati, I do believe. But man, I'd be all over this race. I'm telling you right now, hotel room. Camping World, I might have to call you and rent a RV for the weekend or something, but I'd be coming to that one, no question about it.
And I'm trying to look at this other race here, George. There's another race. It says, or win $1,500 both days, $100 entry fee for both days to run, so $50 a day to run for $1,500. That's a pretty sweet deal too. So they must be having a regular race within that race.
They have 2 races. It's almost like out here in Ardmore, they call Super Pro Green. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's probably right.
Right. Instead of having a gambler's race, quote unquote, let's go ahead and publicize it that there's going to be a race inside of a race. Makes a little bit more sense. I mean, the people who come to race those gamblers races, yes, they got the money just to throw right just like that. But us budget racers, which this is a budget race, this is suitable to us racers on a budget. If you
If
tell
you're
us
going to
ahead
run
of time that
big
you're
money,
gonna, if you tell us ahead of time that you're gonna run a race inside of a race, now I have the ability to bring a little bit extra change with me to run said race. Dude, this is going to be a good one. I really wish it was televised. Too bad it's not. I'm sure we'll get some guys online that are sharing, live video. And if I see it, I'll post it to Go on Bracket Racing. You guys will be able to watch it too. But Edgewater is west of Cincinnati in Cleves. Thank you for that, Dave Stidham. This is going to be a heck of a race. Thanks, Kevin. I see you over there too, man. But let's get us back on the screen here. I'll tell you what, guys. We've asked for budget races forever on Going Bracket. That is one of the main things we talk about here, Casey. And there's somebody else delivering. What do you think?
No, man. I mean, like I said, if as far as racing for big money, like that's the type of race where typically that type of a race, what they're asking for double entry, that's the single entry price for that type of a race, and that's a decent price. Now they're letting you double enter all 3 days for basically a single entry weekend price for the same amount of money. I mean, you can't beat that. And especially being at the end of the year. I know in Ohio, that's the time of year where the weather's starting to get iffy. It could either be cold or it could be, decent weather, but one day the sky's going to open up and that could be the end of the racing season. So if you want to go out a grand finale type race, that's a great race to do it at. Go there to Edgewater and see if you can make a little bit of money. Maybe you can buy something new in the winter.
And definitely something to think about, too. You're hitting that right on the head. I know that Super Quick will run into October, which we will get into that today, too, guys. So maybe some big things coming out of Division 4. I hope so. And we might be looking for a hand in trying to make that happen in the first place. But definitely, to your point, if you want to go out with a bang in that area, this is it. This is one of them that you guys will be able to go out and bang in a big way. Like Casey said, you got some things you want to buy. This is your chance. Hey, Randy, I hear you, man. Randy Bowerman's in the chat, guys. Go on Bracket Racing faithful. Thank you for floating that logo all over your car. Man, we can't appreciate that enough. But he says, man, he wish he could make that race. It's a killer deal. This is a killer deal for 3 days worth of racing. So there's some other races going on, which we're going to glance over here real quick too. Of course, one that everybody is going to see live, especially on the weekend when it's almost time to get off of work. SFG throwing the no split nationals for the lack of I don't know if you can call this split or what. 175,000 to win the main event on the main day, and the runner up is going to get 50 grand. So
well, and the cool part about that race is it's not, oh, there's no splits allowed. It's pre-split. That's the point, is that it's pre-split. And what I'm interested to see in this race, George, not necessarily who wins this race. I'm not even necessarily concerned with, oh, do 1 million people show up? I'm interested to see how long does this race take now versus a normal race where you're constantly cutting the purse round after round after round about, because whenever you have like this race, it's probably paying out, I don't know, I didn't add it up, but it's probably paying out $350,000 easy. Well, whenever you have that type of money just sitting on top, and it's like 500 grand to win and then 50 to runner up, well, guess what? At 32 cars, that's going to start getting split up. And then at 16, we're going to want to split some more. And then what happens if there's only 15 cars? Because now your next round, now you're not splitting again because somebody's got to buy. Now you're not splitting again because somebody's got to buy. You know what I mean? And
that's correct. And then that race is going to be live on Motor Mania too. So hey, something to watch starting next week, guys. I think the Tuesday race is like a $20,000 warm up, $175 to enter.
Just
no
a little
time
over
run.
20,000.
Just 20,000. Run it off the box and you can buy back. I don't remember what the buyback is. Hopefully you guys can see it on the flyer there. But at the same time, there's also a race in Muncie. I'm not going to stop talking about that race. Hopefully you guys are filling that thing up, especially the dragsters. Last I saw, there was door cards galore. I'd almost say, Kyle, if you're listening, man, just open that bad boy up and say, look, leftovers, whoever ain't going to be here, put it all on the door card. I bet you sell it out. You
That's
know what I
door
mean?
car
Just
land,
put it in
George.
a door car. It's door car land over there anyway.
Indiana, St. Louis area, Indianapolis, all that area, that's door car land, man. There's door cars in barns everywhere out there.
Yeah.
And they'll all show up for a good payoff.
And the entry fee on that thing is astronomically low as too, considering how much money is up top. So definitely some good things coming. Of course, we're not going to solo out one of our home tracks, I-57 Speedway, the summer door car shootout. Luke, man, I wish you'd get on the phone with Extreme Raceway Park, Caddo Mills. Hey, call Will Carroll over at Ardmore. Bring one of those races down here to Texas, man. we can just have one here. I tell you what, you bring the race, I'll provide the door car and sit on the sideline. You can race my truck. Come on, man. You can run my car, Luke. You can ride it. You know, but that would be an excellent race to bring over here to Texas as well. As far as many other places, just the door car prizes alone make this worth this. It's worth your time.
That's the thing, man, is they don't give away chintzy stuff, man. Like they'll give away an entire delay box. They'll give away dragster hood scoops with the matching tray, which is always just as expensive as the hood scoop, it seems, you know, for the fab tray and all that. I mean, they give tons and tons of stuff, man. And the quick 16 at that race is going to be something to watch this year because Dad just told me the other day that Rodney's going to maybe try to get his blower car done for that.
Uh-oh.
Pinky's running some nitrous car there. I don't know if Ricky Harless is going to show up or not because I think he's pretty high up in points in some 470 index deal. He just won another one the other day. Wow. That's probably 3 of them this year.
Wow.
But yeah, man, the quick 16 is going to be really interesting this year. It's a shame that Canadian border isn't open so they can come down with that Chevelle because I'd like to see how fast they have to go if they actually wanted to push it to be number 1. It'd be very interesting to see what they would actually run because from what I have heard, that car is pretty much capable of doing whatever you ask it. So basically, if you want to be number 1, if that takes 480, well, they can do that. Now, if that takes 430, I heard they might be able to do that too.
Hey, I'll tell you what though, Benton's real lucky that there's a matte black. I think it's matte black. Don't quote me, Casey. Is it matte black? It's a Chevelle.
I don't know what we're talking about.
it's a Chevelle. It looked like it got a Pro Charger sitting on it.
Yep,
man,
it just got finished. Finally just got finished.
I'm going to tell you what, the Summer Door Car Shootout Quick Race might be lucky that car is not ready to go completely. Because I know a guy who might be willing to make a trip from Carolina over to Benton to drive that bad boy. No, Casey.
I would say this time next year, that's what we'll be doing.
I hear you, man. That car is sweet looking, guys. We haven't showed it to you yet in its finished form, but Casey got a pro model. Well, Casey's dad got a pro model.
I don't.
Casey's
I do not.
Dad got a pro mod, and you might be seeing going bracket racing on a pro mod before too long.
Hopefully. We'll see. We'll see.
Dave, we definitely need these races in Texas. But another thing coming down the pipeline, I was tagged in. I'm going to figure out who actually tagged me here in a moment, but I was tagged in a post last night basically saying, where is Super Quick for Division 4?
And that's got one in the chat right here says GBR likes that Super Quick.
Man.
We do. We
love Super Quick. It's just fun. Number 1, it's fun to watch. Number 2, it's a brotherhood of quick cars. This is drag racing anyway, but it goes a little bit further with Super Quick. Everybody knows everybody into that class because there's generally only maybe 40 guys trying to get into a 32 car field in the first place. But 450 index, I'm pretty sure you can't die within 20 after you've qualified. So 470 is just about all you got. Of course, I'm sure they'll take that to the bump.
We call it 450 index, but it's 450 is the max, is the lowest ET that you can go. If you go 449, don't qualify. So basically, it's however many cars can get closest to 450 within either 32 or 64, depending on how big the field is. I think, well, Chris Sullivan even was saying at one point he actually didn't want to see it be a 450 index period because realistically anybody that runs Super Quick can run a 450 index if they were supposed to, if that was the rule, rather than being a bracket race. The reason he said that is because he doesn't want to turn it into a dragsters only class. So that I could see that being true, but I mean there's so many fast door cars anymore, man. Realistically, if you can't go 450, you can't qualify for super quick anyway.
Doesn't matter.
So,
and back in the day, I know you remember this. I believe it used to be 16 and 16, where they take door cars too, and then chop off, give them quote unquote discount on whatever they've run. So, it is what it is. Number one, it's the super quick class. If we want to make a door car super quick series, let's just call it the 470 series, like you just said.
yeah,
there's a lot of 470 door cars out there, and then that'll invite the 50 cars too. So
and it's not terribly difficult. It's not terribly difficult these days to build a 470 door car out of a used car, like something similar to what I just got. If you have any kind of decent motor and you want to spray it a little bit, you could easily go 470 in a car like that. Now 450, you're in a different realm now.
Right. And by the way, guys, that was Blake Allen who made that post and tagged in quite a few big names as well. Really would like to see Super Quick come down here. I don't have a Super Quick car. My old man has one, but I don't have a Super Quick car.
Not yet. If it showed up down there, you never know what old George can come up with.
You never know. You really don't. But definitely a class that I feel would be it'd be a good spin to what we got going on in this area in the first place. There's a lot of the street outlaws or kind of no prep style race that goes on here, and it would be nice on those prepped pro mod races to have another class to go along with that too. A lot of that heads up stuff. Throw a bracket class in there like a Super Quick, and you're really going to show another side of drag racing to a lot of people. That's going to then pull people to the bracket racing side.
And it could actually be beneficial to the program as long as everything stays together, because first of all, those cars typically will stay together because they're not strung way out, because you can go 450 on motor these days in a dragster pretty easily.
Very easily.
And so those type of cars don't necessarily break often because they're all quality parts to do that type of stuff. But it could be beneficial at some of those races to keep cars going down the track, because I know that there's times where, depending on how the weather is outside, if cars don't go down the track, those first couple pairs are going to run off.
Check this out. Kevin Griner in here. He's texting right now. He's from Texas, of course. I'm just a migrant. Thank you guys for accepting me into y'all state. But I'm here. Hey, Kevin says Texas Outlaw top sportsman used to run in Division 2 off of a 470 index. So somebody's thought of that before. You know, it's a very good way to incorporate door cars back into the program. You know, you can't get too big, but 16 dragsters, 16 door cars, or separate fields. It doesn't matter, you know.
Right.
For the lack of better terms,
until there's one.
Right. For the lack of better term, the majority of the racers that run Super Quick, if they do run in Division 4, they're going to follow the races up to Oklahoma, or as far as the reach would allow.
Some of those
4 or 5 hours is not out of the question to travel for a Super Quick race. So,
right. And some of those races, like, you don't have to run it the same as the Division 3 Super Quick series. Like, it could also be a cool way to do it, to say, hey, I'm going to take this idea and I'm going to say, all right, 16 door cars, 16 dragsters. Door cars, you run until there's one left. Whoever wins the door car side gets $1,000. Whoever wins the dragster side gets $1,000. They run off for another $1,000.
Right.
That'd be cool.
There's just so many ways to do it. And then at the same time, you can see the making of a cross division rivalry, or like almost like the Cubs versus the Cardinals, or the Yankees versus Boston. Division 3 versus Division 4, Jag Super Quick. Top 32 cars of each class pounded out. Everybody's automatically qualified in it because you've already qualified along the points series.
Right.
Even top 16 and keep it a 32 car field. But you can see the making of that. You can see, man, let's head over to Oklahoma, wherever the race is being held, from St. Louis and Indy and all these other places, to meet up in the middle for, I'd love to see it at Gateway since it's just so central, but to meet up for this type of a race, you can see it in the making.
Definitely, man. And don't forget about the fact that this can be supplemental to a normal bracket program. So it can just be literally something to draw people in. Most of those cars that run that event, they'll run both.
That's correct.
So your cars are already there. You're not needing to draw these guys in. Like, you will draw. There are certain people, that may be 10 people, that they only do Super Quick and stuff like that. But I mean, the vast majority of those guys that run those races are guys who race there and they just happen to have the faster cars there. They're like, well, I'll just run that too.
Let me tell you what, you would be doing yourself a favor to hold a super pro race, no box, top bulb, whatever, $5,000 to win, something. Throw that in the mix and have the super quick boys qualify on the first day and run eliminations on the next, or have 2 different super quick races, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. Watch what happens from there. You're going to have a packed out house, number one. I'm going to be there, number 2, because you got a bracket race surrounding it. So that means I can bring Mo out and we can have some fun in that thing. So it's only going to work. And I've watched it work for many years in the first place. My old man's runner-up, won a few of them. My uncles won a few of them. My cousin's in super quick. I mean, we got 3 super quick cars. So if we wanted to put some nitrous to some stuff, but naturally aspirated 440-second chargers. That's what we have. So
No, man.
I love the idea.
And the thing is, George, is like that's the type of stuff too. Those super quick cars to a smaller track, that will draw fans into that track just to watch stuff. And guess what? Then they're eating your hot dogs, drinking your beer, eating your cheeseburgers, things like that. And that's what tracks really like, because they're getting money from the entry fee and getting money from the concession stand. So they're doubling up and they don't have to do anything with these people. That's something really to think about, man. Especially a smaller track, because a 450 car at some of these smaller tracks, that's some of the fastest stuff they're ever going to see, And the smaller the track, the faster it looks like they're going.
True. And I don't know, man. I just think it's an excellent idea. I think that it is on the horizon. Anybody out there listening, I know I've ran into a lot of guys who might have some ideas on how to make this happen. Division 3, I know you're out there. Shout me a holler through the inbox or something. Let me know how you guys got that thing up and running. What do you think it would take to get that running for Division 4? Because this is Texas, number one. Everything's bigger in Texas. Everything. So Jake Hodge poked fun and said, what can we do to get it to happen? He said, you need fast cars like what Division 3 has. So take that as a challenge, Division 4. Take that as a challenge. I'm thinking Jake thinks that there's no fast cars down here in Texas or in Oklahoma or even kind of in Kansas. I'm not so for sure how far Division 4 goes up. Kevin Grider, you probably know the answer to that question, but
that's a weird area right there. It's like Division 3, 4, and 5, I think, are all kind of in a weird little area there.
Yep.
Because I think technically Division 5 is in some edge of Missouri, but it goes all the way to Colorado, I think.
Wow.
I think it's out in Denver as Division 5. I think Whitfield, I think, is a Division 5. I'm not 100% certain on that. But David Hearn over here, he must be talking about Tony's dragster. He said that old small block dragster was a bad machine and super quick. That's 100% the truth right there.
That old small block is still bad and super quick. I think last time out it might have went 452 or something like that. And you're talking all motor and 415 cubic inches. I think it's 414. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me quoting it. I don't know. It's not above that. I can tell you that much. All right, but that old car take care of business.
George, I did see something that would have been right up your Uncle Tony's alley earlier today on Racing Junk.
What kind of small?
It was a 358 X Pro Stock truck motor that's for sale on Racing Junk right now. I guess it got freshened up and they put it in the corner. And I guess it's supposedly been in a climate-controlled environment since Pro Stock Truck. It was a qualifying motor for Pro Stock Truck when that was the class, and then they killed the class, and the motor just sat in the corner because I don't know whose name was on it, but I do know guys like Bob Pinella and guys like that. They ran Comp Eliminator for a while, so they were probably like, well, I'll just keep it for a class motor, and they just never used it.
Makes sense. It makes sense. I'm seeing Cody Newman say here he thinks Division 3 goes up into Ontario.
It might.
Who knows, right?
Know.
Division 3 could split the whole, kind of just split the country, into Canada, So it would make sense if Division 3 is up that far.
I'm not 100%. I think the lines, like, it has weird lines because Division 2 is like kind of, it goes like this. And then, but Division 3 does seem more straight up. So it might be. I don't know.
Yeah. Kevin Grider says those cars are put away. Jed Coughlin and old WJ Old Car were in North Texas. Matt Thomas has one of them, and Chris Dollar raced the other one. So people have those cars, and they race them. From what I'm saying, a lot of the stuff's put up, though. They still have it. Speaking of, though, we talked about what I'm going to talk about next. The Big Go. The Big Go. You're going to hear a lot about the Big Go from this past weekend. I am going to start by saying, NHRA, great job promoting that race. I don't know what you did differently. I know it's the big goal, and I know you're in Indy. Okay, so that alone says
That
difference.
might be it, George. They're finally by it. They care because they're finally next to it rather than being in Pomona away from everything. It makes absolutely no sense.
All I know is there were cars lined up from, man, I've been to Indy I don't know how many times. I would not have wanted to sit in that line. That's how many cars those cars were lined up for miles. The stands were packed. However you promoted that race, that one, I know it's the big go, it's the big daddy, so everybody knows, here comes the U.S. Nationals. We got to travel from everywhere to get to it. Just great job promoting that race. I was very happy to see a packed out NHRA event. The racing was great. One thing I'm going to criticize is FS1. Okay? Some of us have to DVR the race. I'm sorry, but I turned on the race and was getting into it. I watched all the qualifying. Qualifying went late. Luckily, it was raining, pouring down rain at some football game, so they couldn't cut off qualifying. We're going to stay with you until this rain starts, is what the guy said there. So I was like, okay, good. I get to watch a little bit more.
Yeah, David
Next
Hurd
day,
says here it's sold out.
I guarantee it. Guarantee it. They probably oversold that race. I guarantee it. When's the last time you seen an NHRA race sell out?
I couldn't tell you.
I know that COVID has a lot to do with a lot of things, right? But even before COVID, I don't remember hearing a lot of NHRA races sell out. I don't. Sorry. But FS1 then cut off first round and switched channels on us to national TV, I think is what it was. They went to Fox, just live. I'm like, I can't watch the rest of the race anymore. I got all the first round done, and then it just cut off on me. So it's like, well, I can't watch the race no more. That's the only thing I have to criticize. I guess next time I'll be prepared for it, and maybe I'll DVR FS1 and then go and make sure that Fox doesn't have it coming on next or something. That's all. I'm pretty sure there's other people out there who feel the same exact way.
Did you get a chance to see? So, I'm not a fan of the fuel classes really anymore, because I just think it's the most money wins. And I think whoever pays Alan Johnson the most money, they'll start winning type thing. But the thing I did think was cool is they had a retro throwback type top fuel wrap on one of Coletta's cars that was like the old Bounty Hunter car. Because I think the Connie Coletta Bounty Hunter car was the first one to go 200. I'm pretty sure.
I can't remember who was driving it though. Shoot, it just ain't gonna come out, is what it is. I can't remember who was driving it, but that was nice to see. That was nice.
But I always think that type of stuff's cool because you know how I always like all the retro stuff anyway. But I think it's cool. Like I thought it was cool when Torrance did that for one of Big Daddy's Swamp Rat cars. I thought that was cool. And the thing is, that's what NASCAR does. So why don't they do some kind of retro throwback type deal in NHRA? I mean, these fuel guys, anyone who runs the full tour, they got enough money to do that stuff.
Sure.
It's just a wrap. Wraps don't cost a lot of money in top fuel dollars.
Nah. So I'm very impressed with the NHRA this past week. That was fun to watch. I did end up getting the recording. It ended up coming on Sunday night at Monday morning at 4 a.m. So I was up back and forth cooking a brisket pretty much all night long, and ended up catching the end of the race. So I was fortunate enough to see the GOAT win Pro Stock. So.
Hey man, I'm telling you, I know we go back and forth on all this stuff. If you want to say she's the best Pro Stock driver of all time, 100% agree. But you know how I feel about Pro Stock was originally invented for people like Warren Johnson and like Greg Anderson did that stuff, Jason Lyon, Grumpy Jenkins, all those guys, they made Pro Stock what it is and they built their own stuff. Bob Glidden, like they invented things. And that is the only reason why I don't think she is the greatest of all time. As far as driver, though, I agree with you.
Nah, man, I'm not putting any asterisks on anybody's greatness. When it comes down to it, I don't give a dang on who built the motor. You got to cut a light. You got to bang the gears. You got to get to the finish line first.
That's
true. If I had to put money on a match race right now, and it was Erica Enders versus WJ, Erica Enders versus Bob Glidden, same cars, same speed, same everything. I'm taking Erica Enders. I don't care about
I don't
none of
think
that
so,
other
man.
rigmarole. I don't care because somebody need to check her pulse. Is she alive? Because I'm telling you that man, no. Dylan Champion, Greg Anderson is not the GOAT. No, and when it all comes down to it, especially whenever those wins and championships just keep adding up for Erica Enders, you will not be able to deny that Erica Enders is the GOAT. I don't care if I'm making y'all mad. I really don't. I really want to see more comments because this is a good topic right here. She's the GOAT. Period.
They said right here, whenever we were saying who was driving that Coletta car, Troy said it was Langdon, and then Team 14 says it might be Doug Coletta.
No, I think it was Langdon. I'm almost for certain it was Langdon because they struggled in Langdon's car all weekend, and that car went out first round too.
Yeah, Team 14 now they said over here they think it was Langdon. Too now. So yeah, it must have been him.
Hold on.
It did say Toyota on it, so.
Jimmy Nobles chimed in. He says, George, please. Lee Shepard would have killed her in his day.
That's the truth.
No.
And that's the point, because he did say in his day, and you said in his day, she couldn't drive the cars like she does now in those days because there was no Liberty.
You talking about the inline shit? You talking about having to pull Linko?
No, I'm talking about there's a whole lot of stuff where they used to have to rev the car themselves. They didn't just put it on a two-step. There wasn't a two-step. I don't know.
You don't remember not very many years ago before they changed to this mechanical fuel injection junk anyway that they had to rev their motor?
But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking they didn't have a two-step where you just put it on the mat and it holds it at whatever RPM.
So many asterisks. Take the asterisks off. Stop it, guys.
It's something we'll never know.
Just be a witness to the greatness. Hashtag DTBB. DTBB. I ain't gonna tell you what it means, but you can try to sound it out if you want to. And she done it again. She drove that son of a gun right on back to the trailer. Drove it back. If he was alive and still racing, I would still put money on Lee. Oh, George, WJ has my vote. Come on, Randy. Doggone it. Come on,
you
guys.
opened up a can of worms here, George. Now everybody going bracket racing. We're all talking about pro stock. Bracket racing over here. We're all talking about heads up.
Check this out. Sorry, I had to, man. It was the big go, and I'm a fan of the GOAT. I told you if there was ever a class that I could race, I'm going 00 the first time I ever sit in one, and that's pro stock. I'm telling you, pro stock is that's been my jam forever. Always wished I had a pro stock car, but Dylan Champion says they paved the way for her to be decent. Decent?
That's something he would say.
Hold on. He says it's like Bron living in MJ's shadow. MJ made basketball what it is today, so same way for pro stock. No,
he's pushing all your buttons.
You're getting them all, man. LeBron is the greatest to ever live, too. I don't want to hear Kevin Hoyt. I don't want to hear it, Jimmy. Don't come at me with that. No, it's not stuff. No, I had to get that out. I'm sorry, guys. Easy to go.
Side note. Going back to bracket racing here.
Bracket racing.
You going racing this weekend?
No, I don't go racing until the 24th. Unless something drastic happens, I'm not going until the 24th. If I find a Sunday event, I may be able to get to a Sunday race, but you know me, I'm the guy with 2 kids, so my racing schedule is pretty confined to only a handful of races per year right now until they get a little bit older. My oldest is only 5. My youngest is 2. This is Texas. It's too doggone hot. I'm not trying to have my kids out there without a motorhome. Now, if I had a motorhome, I'd be out there probably every week, air conditioner blasting and everything. So it'd be a little different. I hate that I like you, George. That's Dylan. I'm glad you like me, champ. Dad is not going to get along with you. He says that. I'll put money on it. I'll put money. We'll get along.
George gets along with anybody for whatever reason.
Man. No, Casey, man. Here we go, coming up on that illustrious hour mark that we always come up on. And what else you got for the fans, man? It's been a good show. Like I said, it was open discussion. We try to do this probably twice a month-ish, depending on what is really going on in the bracket racing world. I'm pretty sure we'll try to have a guest lined up for the next one. I'm not dropping any teasers or any hints as to who that might be. So, what else you got, man, before we get out of here?
Not a whole lot, man. finally got a little bit of cool weather out here. I wish I was racing this last weekend, but it just wasn't in the cards. Just had too much stuff to do around the house, man, because we've been racing a ton last month, and had some big tree limbs that are about 8 inches around and 25 foot long. There's 4 or 5 of them that fell down, so I kind of needed to chop them up. They take away some yard space, so I got tired of looking at them. So that's what I spent this weekend doing. I'm probably going to go down to hopefully go to Kinston this weekend. I heard Fayetteville's opening back up though, and Kenny was saying he thought they might be paying $5,000 or something. So I'll have to look into that and see what's going on over there. And I might head that way. It's the same distance for me either way. So it's hard to say, man, but I will be going somewhere for sure. This time of year, you got to go when you can, because you never know, what could happen after October, pretty much. The weather depends on a lot of what's going on. And I know Piedmont has a couple big races, but with having this new car now and having to get it ready to go, and then I got to rebuild the motor in the Nova and have it ready to go. I don't think I'm going to have that in the cards this year, but if I end up winning something before the end of this year's up, that could change real quick.
I heard that, man. And Dylan says he'll save you a spot. I'm sorry, I'm calling you Dylan. Champ says he'll save you a spot. Make sure you bring Advil and Pedialyte.
Yeah.
It's going to be hot out there, ain't it? So,
yep.
So be it.
Eric White said Roxborough's having a 2-day race this week too. That's about the same distance too. So you never know where I'll end up, man. Whenever I get there, then I guess that's how we'll know.
Yeah, somebody send me a message on what's going on in Texas. Ardmore, I-30, XRP, send me something. I don't know what's going on. I do know that if it's a Sunday race and I have a babysitter, I might try to get there. Never know. So,
but it ain't gonna run itself. That money ain't gonna win itself, George.
It's true. It's true. And I will say this, and I'll say this and let it all be done. Kendall Little, you were driving your butt off before that motor let go, man. I think he was down to 6 when they figured out it was hurt. So,
and it was hurt, man.
It was hurt.
But hey, you should have got some money towards the new motor being down to 6.
You maybe just a little bit, something to pay at it, and I said this once and I'm going to say it 1,000 times. Do not have a staging duel against the hired gun, Kendall Little. He will put a perfect lap on your head, okay? The last time I said it, he was 001 pack. This time he was all zeros. Just before you even get up there, just tell him, hey, man, I'm going to let you go in. I'm going to go in first. Don't worry about the staging duel and nothing. I'm going straight in. I'm telling you, Kendall, I'm staging first, buddy. You don't have to put no
you don't want to make him mad.
0 stinking pack on me, man.
He's probably in there just sitting there during the staging duel, just thumbing some numbers out.
or in, because it's like, oh, okay, you want to put about 3,000 in there real quick. I know I'm letting this thing go low, 00. I know it, man. As always, guys, thanks for tuning in. We couldn't do this without you. Thank you for everything you guys do. Don't forget to head over to that gift shop. I'll post the link. The Going Bracket Racing shirts are for sale. The hats, you see us. It's all out there, guys. We even got stickers going on there now. They are really big. So if you want a sticker, that'll be going on. Maybe back right there by the back tire. What do you think, Casey? I bet it'll fit the back tire on most cars.
That's where I'm getting ready to put mine whenever they show up in the mail here.
Yeah, same here.
But we should have some new shirts coming out here pretty soon. We got tons of new colors in there, man. And I don't know. Other than that, I'm just getting ready to go downstairs, start messing with this Firebird a little bit more, and see what I need to put on the list for Old Champ's performance.
Well, I heard that. I'll probably just head out there and take a look at my car. It's covered up and cleaned since the last time I've been out. So generally, I come home, wipe it down, and just cover it up. Maybe that cover will keep the kids from dinging my car with the side of the door from the Explorer, since I share the garage with my wife's car. So, at any rate, guys, thanks for tuning in. As always, we will see you guys next Tuesday.